Welcome to the NORQAIN YouTube channel, where today we're going to take a closer look at the Freedom 60 chronograph, specifically the new 40mm case size. Let's check it out. The NORQAIN Freedom collection is inspired by an appreciation for the outdoors that carries across generations. We can see through the multiple design elements of this collection that it's a watch that's really created for anyone to be able to enjoy. Today, we're really going to focus on the Freedom 60 chronograph, which has become one of our most popular selling pieces throughout the NORQAIN collection. Originally available in a 43mm case size and with the classic design elements, we can see why it's quickly become one of our best-selling pieces. But in the spirit of creating watches that are made for every wrist and every generation, earlier this year, NORQAIN introduced a 40mm version of this sought-after timepiece. And that's what we're going to take a closer look at. Before we dive into some of the design elements that make this such a popular piece, let's go over the specifics of the NORQAIN Freedom 60 chronograph. With the new 40mm case size, the watch is going to be 14.9mm thick with a 49.2mm lug-to-lug measurement. This allows it to fit slightly better on a smaller wrist than the previous 43mm did. And as you can see, the lugs are curved a little bit more downward, which allow it to fit a little bit more smoothly onto the wrist. With the NORQAIN Freedom 60 chronograph, as with every other NORQAIN timepiece throughout our collection, you have a screw-down crown, which allows us to have a water resistance of 100 meters with the Freedom 60 chronograph. Taking a closer look at the dial, you can see a few different additional features on the NORQAIN Freedom 60 chronograph. First off is going to be the date window that's down here at the 4:30. The date windows on all four of the Freedom 60 chronographs are color matched to pair nicely with the dial, as well as a chronograph complication, which is essentially a stopwatch functionality on your timepiece. Now that we've gone over the technical details of the new Freedom 60 chronograph, let's take a look at some of the design elements that has made this collection in general so iconic within the NORQAIN series. Between the 43mm previous version and the newer 40mm versions, there are 4 different dial options. With the 43mm collection, we have a cream dial as well as a black dial with white sub-counters. And in the new 40mm collection, we have this beautiful blue dial as well as a really gorgeous anthracite dial, both with white sub-counters. As the name implies, the Freedom 60 collection is inspired by vintage sports watches. To achieve a really beautiful vintage design, the dials are domed on 2 levels, which really help incorporate that 60s look. Attention to detail is one of the biggest design elements that you can see throughout the entire NORQAIN collection. On the Freedom 60 chronographs, the NORQAIN logo is going to be applied, giving it a nice dimensional shape against the backdrop of the dial. In keeping with that attention to detail, the indexes are hand applied and polished, matching the faceted hands, which all have Old Radium Super-LumiNova, which allows for easy viewing in dimly lit situations. All 4 models of the Freedom 60 collection are available in a multitude of strap options, including a stainless steel bracelet. What I enjoy personally about the bracelet is the fact that it tapers down, so it's incredibly comfortable to wear on the wrist. With a multitude of additional links, the bracelets can easily be sized down to fit any size wrist quite comfortably, as well as having a fine adjustment in the clasp that can easily be modified with this tool. One of the other features that I really enjoy about this and every NORQAIN timepiece is the side plate that's located on the side of each watch. The plate is completely customizable should you ever decide that you want to have it engraved. As I mentioned before, aside from the stainless steel bracelet, there are a multitude of different strap options for the Freedom 60 chronograph collection. The first off being our vegan certified rubber strap, which has been available for the majority of our timepieces for a while now. One of the most exciting new options within the Freedom 60 chronograph collection is the addition of 2 new straps that further our efforts to be an animal cruelty-free company. The first is going to be the Alcantara strap, which is a beautiful brown color that also has an apple skin backing, ensuring it's going to have a nice longevity to the strap. But then also we have the announcement of our NORTIDE strap. The strap is really unique in that it partners with a company called Tide, which is a Swiss company dedicating to removing plastics from our oceans and shorelines. In a really unique process, Tide collects plastics that are polluting the ocean and our coastlines, and then upcycles them into other products, including a yarn that we then use for our linen Nortide strap. Again, with the apple skin backing, ensuring that it's completely animal cruelty free. To further explore the NORQAIN Freedom 60 chronograph, as well as the complete collection, head over to www.norqain.com. You can also search for an authorized dealer online by using our Find a Retailer tool, allowing you to have the opportunity to see the collection in person. Be sure to follow us along here on YouTube as well as on Instagram to keep up with the latest news and announcements from NORQAIN, and leave a comment if you have any questions. Thanks, and we'll chat soon.